Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. Jaden Daniels has officially put any lingering concerns to rest ahead of Thursday night's primetime showdown, as the young quarterback of the Washington Commanders has been cleared to play against the Green Bay Packers. After a Week 1 performance that showcased his dual-threat capabilities in spectacular fashion, Daniels seemed poised to continue his meteoric rise in the NFL, opening the season with a commanding 21-6 victory over the New York Giants. Daniels completed 19 of 30 passes for 233 yards and a touchdown, while also rushing for 68 yards, proving once again why he is considered one of the league's most dynamic quarterbacks. His ability to impact the game both through the air and on the ground left the Giants' defense scrambling all night, and it has left fans and analysts alike wondering if Daniels might be on the cusp of breaking out in a way few expected this early in his career. With that performance still fresh in everyone's minds, the anticipation for Thursday night could hardly be higher, but the questions surrounding his health briefly cast a shadow over the excitement. Earlier this week, the Commanders' star quarterback appeared on the Week 2 injury report with a right wrist concern, immediately sparking speculation about whether he might be held out or limited during the short week. In the NFL, short weeks and wrist injuries are always a recipe for caution, particularly when it comes to quarterbacks who rely on mobility and arm strength as heavily as Daniels does. However, Washington head coach Dan Quinn was quick to reassure fans and the media, emphatically stating that he had zero concerns about Daniels' availability. The team listed him as a full participant in practice, a signal that the quarterback not only was physically capable of taking the field, but also likely felt confident in his own readiness to lead the team. The confirmation came later in the week when NFL Network's Tom Pelissero reported that Daniels had been removed from the injury report entirely, officially clearing him to play without limitation. This announcement instantly quelled the swirling rumors and cemented the expectation that Daniels would be under center for one of the most closely watched early season matchups on the NFL calendar. With Daniels cleared, attention now turns to the Packers, who will be facing a Washington team riding a wave of momentum from Week 1. While the Commanders have reason to feel confident about their quarterback's availability, Green Bay is entering the game with a number of injury-related uncertainties that could shape the outcome. Several key Packers starters are listed as questionable, including defensive end Micah Parsons with a back issue, right tackle Zach Tom battling an oblique injury, left guard Aaron Banks dealing with ankle and groin concerns, and cornerback Nate Hobbs nursing a knee problem. Parsons, despite being limited in the opener, still managed to record a sack, demonstrating both resilience and the capacity to influence the game even at less than full strength. However, the cumulative effect of multiple players being in doubt raises concerns about depth and whether Green Bay's defensive front can operate at peak efficiency against a quarterback as versatile as Daniels. The short turnaround between games only amplifies these concerns, as recovery time for injured players is limited and the margin for error becomes razor-thin when facing a team with a quarterback capable of creating big plays on the move. The matchup sets up as a fascinating contrast of styles and strengths. Daniels, who has steadily increased his confidence and presence on the field since being drafted, will have the opportunity to attack a Packers defense that might be shorthanded in crucial spots. His dual-threat skill set allows him to extend plays with his legs while keeping defenses guessing on his passing options, and against a Green Bay unit potentially missing key contributors, those abilities could be decisive. Past performances have shown that Daniels thrives under pressure, often finding creative ways to exploit gaps or mismatches when conventional options are unavailable. If Green Bay's defensive line cannot bring consistent pressure, or if coverage in the secondary is compromised due to injuries, Daniels' combination of mobility, field vision, and accuracy could give the Commanders a clear edge in this early season battle. From a narrative standpoint, the storyline surrounding Daniels adds another layer of intrigue. This is a young quarterback who has not only demonstrated poise and leadership, but also the kind of athleticism that allows him to change the course of a game in a single series. Fans who tuned in for Week 1 witnessed him avoid pressure, make quick decisions, and take off on scrambles that seemed almost designed to break defense's rhythm. That kind of playmaking will be especially relevant against a Packers team missing starters, as the ability to read and react in real time can turn what might otherwise be a tightly contested matchup into a game where Daniels dictates tempo and field position. With the national spotlight of Thursday Night Football shining down, the stakes are high, but so is the potential for Daniels to deliver a performance that reinforces his status as one of the league's rising stars. Equally compelling is the coaching angle. Dan Quinn, who has consistently spoken about maintaining a balance between protecting his young quarterback and maximizing his on-field potential, seems fully committed to letting Daniels take the reins. By clearing him to play without restriction, the coaching staff has signaled confidence not only in his physical health, but also in his mental and emotional readiness. This approach could pay dividends if the game evolves into a fast-paced contest, particularly if the Packers' defensive limitations are exposed early. The chemistry between Daniels and his receivers, coupled with his understanding of Green Bay's schemes and tendencies, will likely be a focal point of analysis and discussion leading up to kickoff, and it could prove to be the difference in a matchup that promises both excitement and strategic complexity. Looking at Green Bay, the team faces a critical test of depth and adaptability. The injuries to Parsons, Tom, Banks, and Hobbs collectively represent challenges across the defensive line, offensive line, and secondary, making it difficult to anticipate how the Packers will handle high-pressure situations. Parsons' ability to contribute despite injury is encouraging, but the team cannot rely solely on individual heroics if multiple starters are limited. The offensive line, tasked with protecting quarterback Aaron Rodgers, must contend with the possibility of mismatches and unpredictable blitz packages, while the secondary may need to compensate for coverage gaps created by injured personnel. Every adjustment, substitution, and tactical decision will be scrutinized, as Green Bay seeks to maintain competitiveness against a Commanders' offense led by a quarterback who excels at exploiting weaknesses in real time. For fans of both teams, Thursday night promises more than just a regular season contest. It offers a window into the future trajectories of two squads with distinct narratives. The Commanders are riding early momentum and hoping to establish Daniels as the centerpiece of a sustained offensive identity, while the Packers face a moment of reckoning as they attempt to navigate injuries and maintain a competitive posture on their home field. Analysts, commentators, and viewers alike will be watching every snap, every scramble, and every decision, knowing that the outcome could shape perceptions of both teams long before the season reaches its midpoint. The dynamics of injuries, player readiness, and strategic ingenuity will combine to make this a marquee matchup, and with Daniels fully cleared to play, all eyes will inevitably turn to him as the potential game-changer. Ultimately, the storyline is clear. Jayden Daniels, a quarterback whose first full season promise is already materializing, will step onto the field Thursday night without limitation, ready to lead the Commanders against the Packers' defense navigating uncertainty. His Week 1 heroics, combined with his ability to remain healthy and resilient, create the perfect setup for another standout performance. Whether it's a precise pass threading through defenders or a scramble that extends a critical drive, Daniels has the skill set to dictate the flow and, potentially, the result of this primetime encounter. As kickoff approaches, anticipation is building, questions about injuries are fading, and the stage is set for one of the early season matchups that fans will be talking about for weeks. This is the kind of game where narrative, skill, and circumstance intersect, and with Daniels cleared to go, the Commanders enter Thursday night with a sense of confidence that will only add to the drama, excitement, and intrigue of an NFL season that is already shaping up to be unforgettable. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. The NFL world is buzzing today with what could be one of the most shocking trades of the offseason, and it involves none other than Devin Lloyd, the linebacker sensation who has been turning heads since his days at Utah and making waves in the league with his instinctive tackling, sideline-to-sideline speed, and uncanny ability to read offenses before they even make their move. Rumors have been swirling for weeks about teams lining up to try and get a piece of Lloyd's defensive dominance. But today, it looks like the Washington Commanders might have pulled off a move that could redefine their entire defensive identity. Sources close to the league are whispering that the Commanders have finalized a trade to bring Lloyd into their fold, a move that, if true, might just be the wake-up call the NFC East needs as it heads into a season filled with uncertainty and high expectations. The trade, which insiders are describing as insane and game-changing, reportedly involved a combination of draft picks and young talent, though the exact details are still under wraps, leaving fans and analysts alike speculating on just how far Washington was willing to go to secure one of the most dynamic linebackers in football today. Devin Lloyd's arrival in Washington, if confirmed, would not only signal a shift in their defensive scheme, but also send a loud message to the rest of the league. The Commanders are serious about contending. Imagine the impact of Lloyd patrolling the middle of the field, his athleticism matched only by his football IQ, turning what was once a suspect run defense into a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks and running backs. Analysts have already started to debate how this addition could alter the NFC East landscape, with rivals like the Cowboys, Eagles, and Giants suddenly having to rethink game plans against a unit that could very well become the toughest to crack in the entire conference. The buzz isn't just about what Lloyd brings on the field, but also about how his presence could influence the locker room, bringing energy, leadership, and a competitive edge that the Commanders have been searching for. Fans have taken to social media, sharing hot takes and creating memes almost instantaneously, speculating whether Lloyd's intensity and sideline presence could spark a new era in Washington football, one that turns the team from perennial underdogs into legitimate playoff contenders. There's also talk that this trade, if finalized, might have ripple effects throughout the league. Teams that were monitoring Lloyd for months are reportedly scrambling, trying to adjust their offseason plans and consider how the Commanders' newfound defensive strength could change the draft board or even shift free agency priorities. The strategic implications are massive, with scouts suggesting that Lloyd's skill set is so versatile that he could be deployed in multiple roles: a traditional linebacker, a coverage linebacker, or even as a hybrid defender capable of blitzing from unexpected angles. This flexibility has reportedly been a major factor in Washington's pursuit, as the coaching staff envisions a defense that is unpredictable, aggressive, and built to neutralize both the pass and the run in one fell swoop. Rumors suggest that behind closed doors, team meetings have been intense, with executives laying out potential scenarios where Lloyd immediately becomes the centerpiece of a defensive renaissance. The excitement among insiders is palpable, and whispers indicate that this trade could be just the beginning of a flurry of moves designed to elevate Washington's roster to championship-caliber levels. The story doesn't stop there. Devin Lloyd's own reaction, according to sources who claim to have spoken with his inner circle, has been nothing short of electric. The linebacker is said to be thrilled about the opportunity to play under a coaching staff that values versatility and intelligence on the defensive side of the ball. Some sources even hint that Lloyd personally pushed for the trade, eager to join a team where he could make an immediate impact rather than wait for opportunities elsewhere. His motivation, insiders say, is tied not just to personal achievement, but to the chance to help shape a winning culture, one that has eluded Washington for years despite flashes of promise. This has led to speculation that Lloyd's presence could elevate not just the defense, but the team's overall mentality, instilling a belief in the locker room that a season of contention is within reach. Fans, of course, are reacting with a mixture of disbelief and excitement, flooding forums and comment sections with hot takes ranging from outright celebration to skeptical caution, debating whether Lloyd's arrival alone is enough to transform a team that has struggled to find consistent success over the past decade. What makes this trade even more tantalizing is the timing. The NFL offseason has been a whirlwind of rumors, minor trades, and free agency pickups, but this one feels different. There's a sense of urgency, a feeling that Washington is making a statement not just to its rivals, but to the entire league. Some insiders have hinted that other teams tried to outbid Washington for Lloyd, but the Commanders' persistence, and reportedly, their willingness to go all in, prevailed. The notion that a single player can shift the trajectory of a franchise might sound hyperbolic, but Lloyd's combination of athleticism, intelligence, and leadership makes it a plausible reality. Analysts have already started drawing comparisons to other game-changing defensive acquisitions in NFL history, speculating whether Lloyd could be the kind of player who elevates a team to playoff contention and beyond. The potential storylines are endless, Could Lloyd become the face of a defensive revolution in Washington? Could his presence inspire a new generation of players to rise up and embrace a culture of accountability and excellence? Rumors suggest that the team's front office is banking on precisely that outcome. Even beyond the X's and O's, the media frenzy surrounding this trade is reaching fever pitch. Sports talk shows, podcasts, and YouTube channels are already spinning theories, breaking down tape, and speculating on how the Commanders' defensive formations might change with Lloyd in the middle. Fans are obsessed with imagining the impact on individual matchups, how Lloyd would clash with divisional foes like Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, and Daniel Jones, and how his coverage ability could allow Washington to experiment with blitz-heavy schemes without leaving themselves vulnerable in the secondary. Rumors are also circulating about potential shifts in leadership roles within the locker room, with Lloyd possibly emerging as a vocal leader who demands accountability while also earning the respect of veterans and younger players alike. Every corner of the NFL ecosystem seems to be abuzz, and it's clear that this story, whether fully confirmed or not, is the kind of narrative that fuels off-season excitement like few others. And then there's the fan reaction, which has been nothing short of dramatic. Social media is awash with graphics, highlight reels, and animated debates, with supporters already projecting the season's wins and losses based on the presence of one man. Merchandising speculation is also rampant, with potential jersey sales and ticket demand expected to spike if Lloyd officially dons the burgundy and gold. The chatter extends to fantasy football, too, where pundits are already debating the indirect impact of Lloyd's defensive prowess on offensive matchups, turnovers, and scoring opportunities. In essence, the trade has become more than just a roster move. It's a conversation starter, a cultural moment, and a rumor that refuses to fade, growing louder by the hour. In summary, if Devin Lloyd truly is headed to Washington in what insiders are calling an insane trade, the NFL landscape could be on the verge of a seismic shift. From altering defensive schemes to energizing locker rooms, from dominating divisional rivalries to influencing fan culture and media narratives, Lloyd's potential arrival touches nearly every facet of the league. While details remain murky and official confirmation is pending, the rumor itself has already sparked a whirlwind of speculation, excitement, and debate, reminding fans why the NFL offseason, often thought of as a quiet period, can produce some of the most electrifying and unexpected storylines in sports. The buzz surrounding Lloyd and the Commanders is only set to grow, with each passing day fueling anticipation and heightening expectations. Whether this trade materializes exactly as rumored or takes a few twists before becoming official, one thing is clear. The NFL world is watching, and the whispers of Devin Lloyd's move to Washington might just become the talk of the league for months to come. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.